endearment. It is translated in the Greek version as special lady. See, Jesus used this same exact word for his mother in the wedding of Cana. He used this exact same word for his mother while he was on the cross. And he called this woman, who was regarded in her village as nothing but a mere prostitute, a special lady. Even more surprising than that is that Jesus treated her like a special lady. It wasn't just that he called her a special lady, he treated her like a special lady. He listened to her and he respected her opinions. He didn't compromise his own convictions. And when she left him, she knew that she had to change her lifestyle. But he treated her as a special lady. He treated her as special, so much so that she is the first person in the New Testament to whom Jesus reveals himself to who he really is. He says, I speak to you, who speak to you am he. See, the impact of Jesus accepting this woman was enormous. Never before had she been treated like this. The men she had known had used her and abused her. They certainly did not treat her like a special lady. And this woman at the well had gone from one dead-end relationship to another. Not one man had ever given her what she really hungered for, but still she kept up her desperate search. And then she encountered Jesus. She discovered in Jesus what she was looking for all these years. She needed to know that life mattered, and she found that out. She needed to know that in spite of her failures, in spite of her weaknesses, in spite of her sin, she was a person who had great worth. She did not know who she really was in life until she met this teacher from Nazareth. And when she met this Jesus, her life changed. This Samaritan woman, who had fouled up her life in so many ways for so long, now turns into an evangelist. Come and see the man who has told me all that I ever did. She tells the villagers, can this really be the Christ? And at her urging, the people from the village came forward and they came down to the well to meet this Jesus. Pardon me, she became an evangelist. And as an evangelist, she is an example of someone who found out how to answer that question, then what? She found out that she was a child of God. She found out what Jesus could do with her life. And she found out what Jesus wanted her to do with her life. And as she did those things, her life, living the way Jesus wanted her to, became a habit. It became easy for her to spread the good news. My friends, I think there's a little woman in the well in all of us, in each and every one of us. You see, Jesus doesn't wait around for the perfect person to come by in order to carry his good news. And we know from the scriptures that more often than not, Jesus seems to pick those people who are more undesirable that he taps on the shoulder to carry his message. There are many of us who know from first-hand experience that we serve a God of many chances, a God who has loved us when we're unlovable, as well as a God who has called us to account, and a God who has called upon us to be His evangelists. Now, I know some people don't like that word evangelist. It just kind of bugs some of them. But don't be afraid of that word. Remember, if you spell out the word, letters 3 through 7 spell the word angel. Maybe you can think of that word as meaning God's angels. How can you think that God would not want to use all of us as His angels? He wants us to share our love with everyone. There's a Mercedes-Benz TV commercial, and it shows one of their cars colliding into a concrete wall. It's doing so as it's doing a safety test. And somebody then asks the Mercedes engineer why their company doesn't enforce the patent on the energy-absorbing body, because all the rest of the automobile manufacturers have copied this design for their body, even though Mercedes has an exclusive patent. The engineer replies in very clipped German that I cannot emulate, because in life, some things are too important not to share. Once we know that to be true, what then? What are we going to do with it? God can use people like you and me to share His good news. We can use people like you and me to share the good news of this particular church. And after all, we are all special ladies and special men because of our relationship with God. Isn't it about time you told somebody that? After all, there are some things in life that are too important not to share. Amen.